Good grief. Why do they never go in for me?
Hi there everyone, back again with another video. I think I should really start this video with mentioning Steve Carlson. My thoughts go out to you. I can't imagine the heartbreak that you're suffering from at the moment because of what happened to your vinyl collection. But my thoughts are just with you. You'll get through it, but my thoughts are with you. Anyway, so on with the video. This is another pre-lockdown Wodge from last year, I think. Again, yeah, it is last year. These are mainly from a charity shop that just kept on giving, to be honest. And unfortunately, before, I think sort of towards the end of last year, it dried up, completely dried up. I don't know whether the charity shop chain changed its methods and started shipping to other places, but it seems that this particular shop in Exeter they just weren't carrying large stock of vinyl records anymore. But this comes from a time when they did, and it was being up, new stuff added weekly, and you could go in and pick up some right good stuff. And here we go. So start off with this greatest hit. So this is Free, the best of Free, All Right Now. This was released in '91. It's got that's a pretty early 90s cover in it. In fact, that could be a shoegaze cover, really. I think All Right Now was a top 10 hit again. 91 was around there. This is a great compilation, really good compilation. Really pleased to have it because I've only got Fire and Water on vinyl, so to have something else on vinyl is superb. So got all of the discography there. I've got that one on CD. I've got a couple of others on CD. There's Fire and Water. I actually really like that picture. That's a really cool picture. On that deep blue island, very understated. I like that label an awful lot. I'm starting to like more understated labels more and more. But yeah, plenty have been said about Free. They're absolutely fantastic band. And to have the highlights all on one disc is quite nice, really. Yeah, that was brilliant for £1. Also picked this up, which I was quite surprised by. Picked up Ian Gillan Band's first album. Really nice gatefold. There we go. So this is Gillan's first album that he put together after he left Purple in 1975. Now, I think this might be a German copy because is it German? I don't know, it might be English, but it's on Oyster through Polydor. There you go. So Ian Gillan Band, this is separate to Gillan, which he fronted in the 80s. So Ian Gillan Band have been tarred with the sort of jazz rock fusion brush, but this is more of a funky album. It's got these quite screamy vocals on it, but it's way funkier than I think probably later stuff. I haven't heard it, but this is a really good listen. Got a great version of Child in Time on it. Let It Slide is cool, all 11 minutes of it. Lay Me Down, You Make Me Feel So Good. It's a really good, kind of hard rocking, not really hard rocking, kind of slightly funky album. I really enjoyed this. I was expecting the worst, but it was really good. And for £1, you cannot go wrong with that. So well chuffed to pick that up. Also picked this up. So Jackie Wilson, Reet Petite, his 20 greatest hits. Now I do have another Jackie Wilson compilation, and that I think actually has more of his hits on it. The only real hit on here, or British hit, is Reet Petite. Now I do like his late 50s, early 60s stuff. Some of it's a bit so-so. His kind of rock and roll sides are really good. But what really makes this one stand out is from, I think, the second side of this is superb. Absolutely superb. you've got the best version of Danny Boy I have ever heard in my life. Now, this is usually Danny Boy is something that I really not all that keen listening to. You know, yeah, sure, I've probably sung it along with it drunkenly on a St. Patrick's night, somewhere along the line. But I actually want to go back and listen to this again because it's that good, and it's such a different arrangement. It's really, really good. And then the rest of the side B, are tracks, I think all of them, are tracks from his 1970s, late 60s, 70s, where he became much more funky and much more soulful. A few of them sound like sort of James Brown offcuts, but you're getting into that James Brown territory and that kind of more Stax soul territory. I so want to look out for some of his albums, but I had a look on eBay and they're really expensive, so I think it will be CDs going by the way, from the look of it. But to actually be exposed to that side of music is fantastic. I was jaw-dropping at times how good it is on there, so I was well chuffed to pick that one up. Slowly picking, I think I've got all the albums by this band I want now. So this is Communique by Straits, which I think was their, oh I don't know, was it second or third? It's released in '79 anyway. So this is actually, I don't think I have Love Over Gold, which is the only one I want left, and maybe the live album as well. Anyway, meanwhile, their earlier career, I am becoming more and more in love with. I absolutely adore the early Dire Straits albums, and I thought I'd never say that, but I took my beliefs in my hands, threw them out the window, and just listened, and they're great records. The early Dire Straits albums are excellent. I really cannot recommend them enough, and I didn't think I'd ever say that about them. Kind of like reggae. On here, the opening track is a light reggae track, cod reggae, if you will. Things like Lady Writer. It's just a really good listen from start to finish, this one. Really, really like it. So there we go. Oh, I didn't get the record out, did I? But much better than Brothers in Arms anyway. It's got that orange vertigo. There we go. Yeah, if I ever hear Money for Nothing again, I will go start staring bonkers. Absolutely bonkers, because I hate that with a passion. Right. I also picked this up. It's a Fame reissue, which is a shame, but it probably sold about 2 copies when it first came out. So this is Thompson Twins set. So this is the Thompson Twins before they had pop hits. So 1980, I think it's released in 82 originally. 82? Yeah. The first track I really do know well, In the Name of Love, which they later remixed in 88 as a single. But it's when the Thompson Twins were a 7-piece band. Obviously Alana Curry was there, Joe, what's his name, Leeway there, and there's Tom Bailey. And the rest of these were fired by him after this album. This is kind of, it's definitely leading up to their pop breakthrough. It's very much, it's on the cusp of kind of a mix between early 80s new wave and that kind of mid 80s pop that they became really well known for. Lots of different rhythms on it, sometimes quite African, sometimes quite Caribbean-ish. Not reggae, but more, yeah, kind of different rhythms anyway. More angular guitar on this, but not much. It's a great pop record actually. It's a really good record. And what's remarkable about this is, I swear that Thomas Dolby is the 80s pop equivalent of Kevin Bacon, because he's on this. Absolutely turns up everywhere. I cannot believe how many records I am finding out that he was actually a part of. So yeah, he played synth on 3 tracks on this. He really is the Kevin Bacon of pop. absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, so this was an excellent pickup. Really happy to pick this up. It is a Fame reissue, which I'm not going to quibble for a pound. But I used to really dislike the Fame reissues just because they didn't have the original. Yes, have Fame stuck in a corner on the cover, and they were they had that label on. I just thought it was rubbish. Why didn't they just reissue it like Polydor or somebody did, where it was just maybe a different label number, but you didn't have that silly Fame thing in the corner like that. I don't know. But anyway, brilliant for £1. And then just to round off, now I said I wasn't going to buy any more albums by this band, but I found this for £1, and this is actually a great pop album. So this is Level 42's Running in the Family. 4 UK top 10 hits on this. This is when they basically ditched the jazz funk, which, to be honest, I totally prefer. And they did go pop. A couple of them left after this album. Phil Gould and I think Boone. Yeah, both left because they didn't like the direction they were going in. But to be honest, Level 42 were never as big as on this album anyway, afterwards. This is a pop monster, to be honest. Got Lessons in Love, Running in the Family, It's Over. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a really good pop album. Got The Inner, Boys on the Front. What's the label? Not particularly marvellous. Is that upside down? That's upside down. Particularly marvellous. Not particularly marvellous label, but who cares? I can look at the phone while it's watching, while it's spinning. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Really, really like this album. I seriously don't think I will be picking up any more Level 42 albums unless I see them for about 50p. Then again, who knows? So there we go. Level 42, Running in the Family. So there we go. Another batch of pre-lockdown vinyl. I think my next video I am actually going to show some vinyl that I've bought online in the last, is it 8 weeks of lockdown? I think it's 8 weeks now. But I'm going to show some things that I've bought since lockdown started. I will talk about how I buy records online, seeing as you all know that I'm a real skinflint when it comes to records, and I spend as little as I possibly can. So there we go, another batch of records. Steve, look after yourself, and I'll see you all again soon. Cheers everyone, bye.